Hi, my name is Nadia Mills. I'm 29 years old from the island of St. Kitts. My passion is creativity with a focus on commercial arts. I'm currently an art director and creative strategist. Growing up, I think it was understood that I was always going to do something creative. My mom, she picked up on that creative ability at a very early age. I always loved to draw, so my mom, she made it her mission to import everything that Crayola made to the island. So growing up, I always felt like I was an artist and I had the tools and support that made me feel like I that was a career path for me. I observed that art was a little bit more than what we see. The visual part wasn't the beginning and the end of what we call art, but essentially art is the science of how we see, the understanding of energy and how energy is converted into visuals. I think for me at a young age, I always understood what creativity was, what it was meant to do, what its purpose was. So I was very firm in my decision to pursue art or creativity as a career. Yes, there were people that were suggesting that I take a new path just because, creativity is something of faith, right? If you don't see that vision for yourself, you won't necessarily understand it. But for me, I understood clearly what it was and how I could utilize it and the form in which I could utilize it to have a career. And that form that I saw, I observed when I was 5 years old. My grandfather owned a shop, and I would spend a lot of time with him in that shop. So I got to see how customers interacted with the products and how commercials affected how they were switching products or their buying habits. And I was amazed. I understood the language of product, of branding, packaging, and then commercials, that narrative storytelling that was told through TV at that time. And I was amazed. It was such a subtle energy, but I realized how even on that tiny island, our tiny island, it had an effect there. And I thought that was the most powerful thing I've ever seen. And I just wanted to do it. To me, I recognized that my skill as an artist would be best utilized through advertising because it had such a wide impact, and it would give me the power to really change the world. For me to find my way and understand the steps that I needed to take to get to where I wanted to go, I started going to events. I decided that I was going to find the people who I wanted to be, and I was going to be where they are and ask them questions. And that's exactly what I did. And through doing that, I found out about I found out about portfolio schools, and I researched them a little bit, and then I ended up applying to Miami Art School. The school, I've been able to be mentored by a lot of the top creative minds in the industry. I've also gotten a chance to intern for really big agencies here in America, such as BBDO, Ogilvy, and then a very unique agency called Bright House in Atlanta, which is a part of the Boston Consulting Group. Um, I learned a lot about how you package creativity for a business. And the main thing that I saw was that, all those little things that I learned about creativity, just living on the island and just understanding its purpose and what it was meant to do, it was formalized in these agencies. So since graduating, I've started two initiatives back in St. Kitts. One is called Food for Creative Souls, which is to change the stigma against creativity that we have in the islands. It is viable, it is powerful, and if people understand it, not just the end product, but the energy and the science behind it, that's a very powerful gift to have. And I'm just looking to nurture that energy and really direct them as to how they can go from a tiny island to creating really powerful campaigns. Through Food for Creative Souls, that initiative, I'm connecting persons who are interested in creativity with mentors. And these are people that I've connected with here in the US that have been mentors for myself. And just extending that whole creative network, which is a very small community, to the Caribbean. Another thing that I'm doing is that I'm giving people that are creative a chance to explore their creative talents. I think for me going to school, I I started realizing things about myself that I didn't pay attention to, such as strategy, that knack for strategy. And I could connect it back to growing up on a very remote island. Pretty much you just realize your strengths, and you realize as you keep experimenting and trying, you just realize certain things, you learn certain things about yourself. Where I hope to be in the future, I really want to have my own agency. And I've already started doing that in the Caribbean in St. Kitts. I'm in the process of forming my agency called Who We Are. There's one element that I observed being at these different agencies that I feel is missing, and I'm attempting to build it in the Caribbean. I chose the Caribbean because it has a pure energy there. So, and plus the Caribbean is a reminder of, it's a simple life that you live there. And it's a reminder that keeps you close to what it means to be human and what it means to live in a society that's diverse and, just humble. Advice that I would give to young people who wish to follow in my footsteps is take the time to understand what creativity is. Also find a good support group. Maybe it's not in your island, but social media is bringing the world closer together. Reach out to someone on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, ask questions. That's something that I did. I would definitely research portfolio schools. They're a great way to get into the industry. Also pay attention to your story. Understand that everything that you go through can give you good insights. Be observant. If you have a unique perspective, stick to it. It's that is very valuable. I would say that participating in different school activities really helped me. Like I was a part of the RBC Young Leaders. So concepting, that's something that we did there, and that's a skill that I realized in advertising is very useful. Being a president of the prom committee there and concepting again and coming up with fundraisers, that was a soft skill that really boosted my confidence and really gave me a taste of conceptual thinking and leadership. I know this was a statement that has stuck with me for a very long time, where what I understood is that you need no credentials to be an artist. If you have a life, you are painting a picture with your life, your art. So for me, I really consider, whenever I'm taking a bold step, I really consider what is that picture that I want to paint with my life? What is that narrative and what is that story? And it really encourages me to be a lot more bold, to take a lot more risk. I think the Caribbean region is going to be, as the creative sector develops, it's going to be a model. I think our unique past and the way that we've handled our past is beautiful. There's an abundance of love that is there. And love is really important when it comes to creativity, especially when you're dealing with people that have a lot of diverse background. I love that no matter what island I go to, I've been to Grenada, I've been to Trinidad, and I've always felt seen, heard, and understood. So our ability to do that with people, no matter their background, I think would help us to create and really master creating ideas for a global audience. So for me, realizing that, I've really taken up that mission to strengthen our creative artists. I really would love to see the local businesses, regional businesses. I'm looking for their sponsorship in these workshops. I find that this is an opportunity through these workshops, Food for Creative Souls, and these lectures. I'm really giving the Caribbean audience a chance to challenge themselves, because I really believe that we have potential.